And your host, Brandon Alburn.
Hi, I'm Brandon Alpern with the U.S. Channel. Alongside my colleague Nathan, we're going to talk about hurricanes today because today is Hurricane Awareness Day. Today we are going to talk about the two most deadliest hurricanes to hit the United States. My colleague and I will be covering Hurricane Katrina and he will be covering Hurricane Sandy, alongside with a couple of interviews that we'll have throughout the show. Hurricane Katrina was the deadliest and most destructive Atlantic hurricane of the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season. It was the coastline natural disaster as well as one of the 5 deadliest hurricanes in the United States history. Among recorded Atlantic hurricanes, it was the 6th strongest overall. At least 1,833 people died in Hurricane Katrina. Total property damage was estimated at $81 billion, nearly triple the damage brought by Hurricane Andrew in 1992. Now we're going to go back to an old interview taken in 2005 in New Orleans.
I'm here with Reagan in the flooded streets of New Orleans. Reagan, how has Hurricane Katrina affected you?
Well, I lost my house due to flooding, and the weather, it's been very cold and nippy lately.
And where are you currently living?
I've been living in a hurricane shelter outside of downtown New Orleans.
And what did you do to prepare yourself for the storm?
Well, I made a hurricane survival kit, and I blocked out my windows because I heard it was supposed to be a very nippy storm.
Thank you for your time and good luck. Back to you, Brandon.
And just wanted to say, hope will come.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Set, go. Wow, that was shockingly similar to Hurricane Sandy. Now, I do apologize. My colleague has AIDS and is feeling a little under the weather. So now Nathan will go over the weather of the 2 hurricanes.
This is Hurricane Katrina. It started down by the Bahamas, rose up towards Florida, and then up into Louisiana and New Orleans.
Nathan, for that great weather report. But before a hurricane, we're going to talk about some prep that you can take before a hurricane. To begin preparing, you should build an emergency kit and a family communication plan. Know your surroundings. Learn the elevation level of your property and whether the land is flood-proof. Prone. Identify levees and dams in your areas and determine whether they pose a hazard to you. Make plans to secure your property. Install straps or additional clips to securely fasten your roofs to frame structures. This will reduce damage. Consider building a safe home. If in a high-rise building, be prepared to take shelter or below the 10th floor. Now, we can see from all these safety precautions that you will now be ready when a hurricane hits next. Now let's talk about the impact of Hurricane Sandy. In the United States, it caused 131 facilities to fall, and damage was $63 billion. In Haiti, the facilities that fell were 104, 15 people are missing, and $100 million are estimated damage. Cuba, 11 facilities fell, and $2 billion estimated damage. 2 facilities fell in Canada, and the estimated damage was $100 million. In Jamaica, 1 facility fell, and the estimated damage was $55.23 million, with the total damage being at $65.6 billion. So as you can see, there was other damage other than the United States.
Hello, we are live from New York on the set of Hurricane Sandy. I'm here with Andy, and I'm going to be asking him a few questions. Okay, how has the storm affected you?
Well, this morning I checked outside. My street was flooding. I checked back a little bit later. The water was almost up to my door, so we had to be rescued by the National Guard.
That's pretty crazy. All right, how did you prepare for the storm?
I didn't think it would be too strong, so I boarded up my windows just like everybody else did.
All right, that sounds good. Do you know anyone else that has been injured or hurt from the storm?
I don't personally, but my dad's coworker was hurt when a tree fell on her house.
All right, thank you for your time. Back to you, Nate, in New York.
Okay, I'm going to go over the whereabouts of Sandy from a space view. It started from around here in Jamaica, and then went up, developing an eye right around Cuba. Then it went out, and then up back towards Florida, and then it rode all the way up to New York. Now I'll show you a satellite image of Hurricane Sandy.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Now back to Brandon at the studio for more information on Hurricane Sandy.
Now let's talk about some of the relief efforts for both Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina. In international response to Hurricane Katrina, over 70 countries pledged monetary donations or other assistances. Kuwait made the largest single pledge with $500 million. So as you can see, that other countries are trying to help the relief efforts. Now we have learned many things. Like in Hurricane Sandy, we are better prepared when we found out that the hurricane was going to hit. Relief efforts on Hurricane Sandy, several organizations have contributed to hurricane relief efforts. Disney's ABC television group held a day of giving on Monday, November 5th, raising $17 million on their television stations for the American Red Cross. So even a TV show raised $17 million, so the American citizens are doing their parts to help out.
Brandon.
Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina were very sad things. We hope that something like that never happens again, but it most likely will, and we hope that you are better prepared. And that concludes our show. Thank you for watching the UF channel. I'm Brandon Alpern, and my colleague Nathan Trevu. I'm sorry you did not make it again. Thank you.